So this is a Samsung Galaxy S7 Plus. Today I was trying to test my wireless microphone, so I thought I should use that opportunity to also show you a smartphone, mostly the smartphone battery, what it basically is. So I wanted to power on this device, but unfortunately its battery was dead. So I thought I would show you what I had to go around, and that would help me show you what a smartphone battery basically is. Now, if you look at this, a smartphone battery is basically two things. An accumulator, this is a storage unit, like that tank that will store water. Then we have a control unit to control the amount of power entering or leaving the battery. Think of it like the tap connected to your tank. So what happens is, should you fail to get the battery of your smartphone and you have the old battery, you can pick the tap. That tap is the one that will allow the storage tank, which is your accumulator, to be able to deliver the right amount of water or power that the phone needs to run on. And so I picked this off that old battery, but unfortunately for me, when I was picking it off, it kind of got messed up by the amount of heat. So I have found another old dead battery. This is a replacement type that would go to a Samsung. And if you look carefully, the control board almost looks similar. So let me also take this opportunity to show you how I would deal with picking it off of the other one and then proceeding. So I have to untap this, and you will bear with me because this may be a very slow process, but I hope you'll get the idea. Or I'm going to pause after I've untapped, then show you the results. I don't know whether you will feel cheated, but anyway, let's try to proceed together. Okay, I've peeled this off, and this is already a replacement battery. That's why the peeling is very easy. Then I have unfolded it to remove this so I can access those 2 points. That is the point at which this accumulator is connected to this control valve. So I am bending it out like this, and then I'm going to flip it this way such that I can be able to detach it. Anyway, this is now my soldering gun. I should place it here to allow this desolder, but before I do that, okay, to do it efficiently, I will first apply some solder on the terminals of the soldering gun. This will enable good heat transfer. So place that at the top of this while you push that away, and you can see that it has detached. Same thing for this other side. Let me get some solder to increase the heat contact from the soldering gun to that, so that, and this comes off. This has come out easily because it is actually a replacement one, so they didn't over engineer. Now if you look critically at these points, you will see that point is indicated as positive, like battery positive, in this part battery negative. So from our accumulator, we should be able to identify which terminal is the battery positive, and that you can actually do it using a multimeter. Place the black knob on one, the black terminal on one, and that if the value read by the multimeter is positive, you'll know that the red terminal is the red and the black terminal is the ground, the one you've attached to. But now for our case, I already identified and put a white wire for the negative terminal and a red wire for the positive terminal. But there's also another way of seeing that if you're able. Some batteries indicate it. You'll find on the writing somewhere there's a plus, and then on some other side there's a negative. Let's see. Okay, let me use this old one to help you visualize that. Now if you look at this very well, right there, you can see plus on this side and carefully negative on that side. That means this terminal is the positive and that side is the negative. I've already showed you that. Now I'm going to simply expose this we did last time. Okay, I over insulated it. Yep, let me see. When tape faces tape, it's a really strong bond. Okay, trying to peel it open. Now, this was me, nothing to do with. Let me try to be brute about it. Okay, so okay, if you also look at this one, it was well indicated on the battery control board that that's negative and that's positive. At times when you're actually removing this from the battery, first note which one was connected to positive, which one's connected to negative, and then that will help you. Okay, now that side is off, this side is off. So I'll bring my control board. I'm proceeding with this because I want to be able to power on and simply show you. I think this is the one we picked. I tend to like to begin with connecting the positive to the positive, then the negative shall follow suit. So apply it there. My tip, remember, is already having some solder. That's why I'm able to do that. Same for this side. And my accumulator is already fully charged, or roughly fully charged, because when I measured it by the multimeter, it was showing me around 4 volts. Let me just bring the multimeter and show you. Maybe it will also help demonstrate the point I was telling you earlier in helping you figure out the polarity of the accumulator. Yeah, so this is my multimeter. So if you have the black placed in the common and then the red probe put on that, and then remove this, you don't expect the accumulator to have more than 5 volts or 4 volts or 5 volts. So we've set to a maximum DC voltage of 20. And now with the black probe, because we said this was our negative, if I put the black probe there and put the red probe here, the value red on the multimeter is a positive value. If I reverse them, you'll see there's a negative sign there, that black dash below DC. But if I have touched positive to positive and negative to negative, then it will be a positive value, negative sign goes away. So that's how you know which terminal of the accumulator is positive and which is negative. I need this insulation, but for now, okay, let me find the insulation. All right, so I've managed to deal with that tape. I'm going to use it to insulate this. Basically, I think I would say I've recycled it. Okay, there. Now our moment of truth is when we connect this into. You guys can notice that clearly this accumulator doesn't belong here. But if I had found another battery with such dimensions that can actually fit in there, be careful with terminals. They tend to have power. Mind that is plain. So plug that in right there. I'm going to attempt to power on. If I've done everything right, I would expect power. And there it powers. Says Galaxy S7. You can see it's using this battery to power on right there. So that's how you can deal with a battery that you can't find, but you have the old battery and a few accumulators lying around. Anyway, if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button. I'll be glad to share with you more of such videos, and see you in the next video. Ciao. But let it power up. I don't think I know this person's password or PIN, but since this was going to landfill, I felt like I should restore it. And our battery is roughly 73% full, so that 4 volts corresponded to that. English. Okay, Wi-Fi on. It's going to ask me for the Gmail, but let me connect. So okay, connect. It's connecting. It's a really lightweight phone. Yeah, so we are connected. I'm going to next, but I don't think I know the previous owner's details. Terms and conditions, agree. Connecting. This may take, and it says checking for updates. The battery has dropped to 72%. Samsung always intrigues me. It shows the network bar even without a SIM card inside, which is a bit interesting. Checking for information at this point where it will ask me for the Gmail, which I clearly don't know. So anyway, see you in the next video, and I've demonstrated for you the point I was trying to make. Thank you for watching, and come back again.